Welcome to Sebring Slot Cars. We're getting ready to start the Sportsman LMP race. We got Victor Abreu who's going to be starting on red, James Benz on white, Jack Campbell on green, Henry Hake on orange, Don Parsons blue, Joe Tremper yellow, and Steve Scribner on purple. Steve Madison on black. Let the games begin. Hard to find good help anymore. All right, the pink car and the black car fighting it out for first place, Jack Campbell and Victor Abreu. Joe Tremper came off on the bridge, got on the gas a little hot. Okay. Had a car get on the wrong lane. Looked like Jack Campbell's car. So we're running pretty good overall. Victor Abreu and Jack Campbell appear to be leading by a little bit. We got Don Parsons right behind him, Steve Madison, James Benz, Joe Tremper all on the same lap. Henry Hake is one lap behind. I think Henry had a off early on. All right, Victor Abreu has got about four foot lead on Jack Campbell. 6 foot lead. Jack Campbell trying to close up the gap. Victor offs and Jack Campbell takes the lead. Strider. All right, pink car just dropped it, come out again. So Jack's trying to give it back to Victor. Jack's off again. All right. Victor Abreu, Don Parsons, Steve Madison, Jack Campbell, all with 21 laps. Joe Tremper, Steve Scribner, James Benz, all with 20 laps. And Henry Hake with 18. Fast lap that heat. Victor Abreu with a 5.365. Steve Madison with a, Jack Campbell with a 5.338. He had fast lap. Steve Madison, 5.432. Joe Tremper, 5.446. Steve Scribner, 5.516. Don Parsons, 5.536. Looks like Henry Hake with a 5.074 or 5.874, excuse me, and James Benz with a 5.755. Be nice if I knew what I was talking about. That's the track. James, you should only have to blip this bank. There you go. All right, Victor Bruges, your current leader with 43 laps after 2 heats. We got about a 4-way tie for second place with Steve Scribner, Don Parsons, Steve Madison, Jack Campbell all with 42. Joe Tremper 41, James Benz 38 coming off a red, and Henry Hake with James and Henry with 18 each. Excuse me, with 38 and 36 each. Excuse me, James with 38 and Henry with 36. All right, fast laps. Looks like Steve Scribner took fast lap with a 5.300. Joe Tremper a 5.395. Victor Brew a 5.420. Jack Campbell a 5.419. Steve Madison 5.533. Don Parsons 5.506. James Benz a 5.677. And Henry's I cannot see, so. Victor Brew is on the blue lane, Don Parsons is on the black lane, Steve Scribner on the yellow lane, Jack Campbell on the purple lane, those, and Steve Madison on the orange track. What now?
You need to rest that voice a little bit.
Had to rest that heart some, I think. Jack Campbell is your leader with 64 laps. Victor Brew, Jack Campbell tied at 64 laps for first place. Don Parsons, Steve Scribner tied for third with 63. Steve Madison 62, Joe Tremper 60, James Benz 57, and Henry Hake at 54. Laps that segment, Jack Campbell 22 laps, picked up a lap on the field. Victor Brew, Don Parsons, Steve Scribner all with 21, Steve Madison 20, and Joe Tremper, James Benz each with 19. Fast lap. I think I gave y'all the rundown. Let me go do the rundown one more time. Victor Brew, 64 with Jack Campbell, tied. Don Parsons, Steve Scribner tied at 63. Steve Madison, 62. Joe Tremper, 60. James Benz, 57. And Henry Hake, 54. Fast lap goes to Victor Brew with a 5.261. Jack Campbell close behind with a 5.266. Steve Scribner, a 5.375. Those are your top three on fast laps. All right, Jack Campbell's your leader on black and the pink car currently. Victor Abreu dropped a lap somewhere along the way. He's about a half a lap maybe behind Jack. They're right here side by side on black and purple. Jack's trying to get around him for the pass. Victor came off, Jack kept going. We got Don Parsons now in second place with 79, a lap behind Jack Campbell. Steve Scribner also about a lap and a half behind Jack. Don Parsons on the yellow lane right there in the burgundy car, burgundy and silver. And Steve Scribner's on the orange lane, just went by in a white car.
Yellow flag, go. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left.
Victor and Jack running neck and neck again. All right. Wow. Jack Campbell solely in first place with 87 laps. Don Parsons solely in second place with 85. Steve Scribner 84 in third. Steve Madison fourth place with 83. Victor Abreu and Steve Scribner are tied with 84 each. Steve Madison in fifth place with 83. Joe Tremper 80. James Benz 78. Henry Hake 78. Laps that segment, Jack Campbell picked up a lap on the field with 23. Don Parsons 22. Steve Scribner, Steve Madison each with 21. Victor Abreu dropped a couple laps at 20, and Joe Tremper 20. James Benz 21 also. Henry Hake looks like 19. Fast lap goes to Jack Campbell with a 5.152. Next place would go to Steve Scribner with a 5.360. Don Parsons with a 5.431. Yeah, I don't know how you can. I don't think that'll do it. It'll unplug yours, but I don't think it'll unplug all of them. I can check with Rick. That and see what happens. Just one side of it.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
It's on you. Good pickup. All right, heat over. Well, we can roll it for now. Just the braid's getting frayed. All right, Jack Campbell's your leader with 199. Don Parsons, Victor Abreu tied at 106. Steve Scribner 105. Steve Madison 103 coming off a red. Joe Tremper 100. James Benz 98 and Henry Hake 94. You're expected to lose a lap on red, okay?
Okay.
Stay calm.
All right.
The rest of them still got to run red. Okay, fast laps. Looked like Jack Campbell with a 5.242. Victor Abreu close behind with a 5.249. Everybody else, Steve Scribner a 5.415. And that's your top three. Laps that segment, Jack Campbell and Victor Abreu 22 each. Don Parsons, Steve Scribner, 21 each. Steve Madison, Joe Trimper, James Benz, each with 20, and Henry Hake with 19. No button on that one. Running out of time.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left.
Don's that burgundy car yours? Can I clean your tires for you? All right, Don, run it. Track. Oh, you tried. You just mashed the button too quick. I'll get him, Trey. Got. Don, that heat over. We got Jack Campbell in the lead with 153. Victor Bruce second place with 150. Don Parsons third at 147, coming off a red. Excuse me. Steve Madison 146. Steve Scribner 146. So we got a pretty good race for fourth place. Joe Trimper 142. James Benz 139. Henry Hake off the pace a little bit with 129, I believe. Laps that segment. Jack Campbell, Steve Madison, and Steve Scribner all picked up 22 laps that heat. Joe Trimper 21, Victor Abreu 21, James Benz and Don Parsons with 20 each. Fast lap goes to Victor Abreu with a 5.272. Jack Campbell a 5.397. Steve Madison a 5.347. Steve Scribner a 5.374. Joe Trimper a 5.462. James Benz a 5.762. Jack Campbell is on red. Victor Abreu is on white. That's your first and second place. This is the last heat. We've got a little less than 2 minutes to go. That's Jack in the pink car, Victor in the black. Victor just got around Jack. Don't know if he can keep it or not. Jack's trying to be safe because Victor's got to make up a couple of laps. You did it? Okay. Okay. Track. Okay, not track. 20 seconds. Well, we got a good race going on. 171 to 172 for first place. Finish the race. All right, race over. All right. Jack Campbell is your winner with 174, 1 lap over Victor Abreu with 173. That puts Steve Scribner in third place with Don Parsons third place, 169. Steve Scribner fourth with 168. Steve Madison fifth with 166. Sorry, buddy. All right, Joe Tremper, 162. James Benz, 159. And Henry Hagel with 147. Need the cars on the bank, please. Hit the record button. Excuse me, Joe. Thank you. You're fine. I'm not that big.